Hello everyone. For today's discussion, we will going to tackle about the secularization of religion. And here are the objectives of this topic. Let's have first an activity to test your knowledge about our topic. You can pause the video and answer the activity before we proceed to our discussion. To start our discussion, let us first define what is secularization. Please read. So, from the definition, secularization is like religion is taking a step back in public life. Imagine a world where religion used to be everywhere, dictating laws, education, and even daily life. Now, modern societies are becoming more secular, meaning religious is less influential in those areas.
But when did secularization started? During Enlightenment period, existed 17th to 18th centuries. The Enlightenment promoted reason, individualism, and skepticism towards traditional authority. Thinkers like Descartes, Locke, Kant, and Voltaire challenged religion's role in public life, emphasizing critical thinking. This laid the groundwork for secularization by prioritizing rationality over religious doctrines. Next is Industrial Revolution, 18th to 19th centuries. The Industrial Revolution brought mechanization, urbanization, and scientific progress. These changes weakened religious authority by creating new social classes, advancing technology that challenged religious explanations of nature, and disrupting traditional communities tied to religion. Next is modernization. During modernization, it accelerated secularization through technological advancements, globalization, and secular institutions like public education and healthcare. Social mobility and cultural diversity eroded religious norms, while human rights frameworks emphasized individual freedoms over religious authority. Lastly, globalization, 21st century. Globalization increased connectivity and cultural exchange, exposing people to diverse ideas that challenge traditional beliefs. Secular institutions like international organizations and global awareness of human rights further promoted secular values, reducing reliance on religious authority. At this juncture, we will going to discuss about the factors influencing secularization. First, we have social and economic factors. Under social and economic, we have modernization and urbanization. Industrialization, urbanization, and technological advancements often lead to a more individualistic and secular society. People move away from rural communities and traditional religious practices to pursue opportunities in cities, where secular values and lifestyles become more prominent. The next one is education and scientific advancements. Increased education and scientific knowledge can challenge traditional religious explanations of the universe and human existence, leading some individuals to question religious doctrines. And also, we have economic development. As societies become more affluent, people may focus less on spiritual matters and more on material pursuits, potentially leading to a decline in religious participation. Next is political and legal factors. So under political and legal factors, we have first, separation of church and state. Establishing clear boundaries between religious institutions and the government can create a more secular public sphere, reducing religious influence on political decision-making and public life. We also have religious freedom and tolerance, guaranteeing religious freedom for all individuals, regardless of their beliefs, can lead to a more pluralistic and tolerant society, potentially reducing the dominance of any single religion. We also have secular laws and policies. The implementation of secular laws and policies regarding areas like education, healthcare, and marriage can further limit the influence of religious institutions on public life. The third factor is the cultural and societal factors. So under this factor, we have individualism. A growing emphasis on individual autonomy and choice can lead people to question traditional religious authorities and develop their own personal beliefs. And We also have secular values. The rise of secular values such as reason, science, and humanism can challenge religious beliefs and practices, leading to a more secular worldview. And the changing social norms. Shifts in social norms such as changing attitudes towards gender roles, sexuality, and family structures can create conflicts with traditional religious teachings, leading some individuals to abandon religious affiliations. Last factor, we have internal factors within religions. So under internal factors, we have religious conflicts and divisions. Internal disputes and schisms within religious institutions can create a sense of disillusionment and lead some individuals to question their faith. Another, lack of religious relevance. If religious institutions fail to adapt to changing societal needs and concerns, they may become less relevant to individuals' lives, contributing to a decline in religious participation. And last, scandals and corruptions. Scandals or corruption within religious institutions can erode public trust and lead to a decline in religious affiliation. And now, let's proceed to the secularization characteristics, shifts in individual perspectives, linked to modernization, level of secularization, and stages of secularization. Characteristics of secularization. Society transitions from religiously influenced laws, education, and healthcare to independent operations. So the key aspects: separation of church and state, where government and religious institutions function independently. Also, the public education and scientific research operate without religious constraints. Shifts in individual perspectives. Individuals begin to make decisions based on practical consequences rather than religious teachings. For instance, people increasingly seek help from psychologists or medical professionals instead of relying solely on religious authorities. Furthermore, it's linked to modernization. Secularization is often associated with modernization, leading to diverse and pluralistic societies. The rise of modern institutions such as science, law, and media reduces the influence of religion in public life. We also have levels of secularization. First, the social level. Differentiation of economics, politics, and law from religious influence. The individual level, increased freedom from individuals to choose their religious beliefs or to practice no religion. Lastly, we have stages of secularization. First, social differentiation. Religion becomes one part of society rather than the overarching framework. Second, decline of religious institutions. It reduced the power and influence of religious institutions in public policy and daily life. And the third one, individualization of religion. People practice faith privately rather than as part of a broader social structure. So overall, secularization refers to the societal shift away from religious dominance in public life, marked by reduced institutional authority of religion over politics, education, law, and culture. It does not eliminate religion but relegates it to a private or optional sphere. So that's all for our discussion. Let's have an activity to test what you have learned from our discussion. You can pause the video and answer the activity, and afterwards, check if your answers are correct in the answer case.